Hey guys, Roman Reaper here. So I'm just out outside the cinema right now. It is National Cinema Day weekend. Not actual National Cinema Day, that's tomorrow. Fortunately, I couldn't actually go on the day, but I'm out for the weekend anyway. About to head in the special National Cinema Day weekend double bill. Two films I'm quite excited to see. One Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and the other Strays. Getting caught up with those two. Both looking forward to them, both look fun, and yeah. So hopefully that'll be a good fun double feature at the cinema. So I'm gonna head in, get my snacks, get my seat, get ready for part one of the double bill, Mutant Mayhem. So yeah, I have my popcorn here, a blue frozen Fanta, ready for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Cowabunga, dude! So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I was looking forward to this because I have a nostalgic attachment to Ninja Turtles. I absolutely loved the shit out of it when I was like 9 years old. So nostalgia would have made me go and see this, like regardless of quality. But to its credit, the trailers have looked really good. They've got a lot of fun, and yeah, the art style is like amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad like stylized like 2.5D animation has really been on the rise post Spider Verse, and there's also the fact that it's from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who have a sort of their finger on the pulse of teenage dynamics, and it's got a huge ensemble cast. Like as much as 2023 is the summer of flops, it's also the summer of huge ensemble casts. Like, but is the film any good? Is it does it help rejuvenate the Turtles brand? And most importantly, would my 9-year-old self enjoy it? Let's find out. So the film sees our four beloved heroes in a half shell living their day-to-day life in the sewage system of New York City under the protective eye of Splinter, who warns of the dangers of humans. Despite this, though, the four of them dream of a life above the ground where they're seen as heroes by the city. And they get a chance to potentially bring this dream to life when a criminal mastermind known only as Superfly begins mounting heists stealing technology from research corporation TCRI. And so the Turtles, with the help of aspiring journalist April O'Neil, team up to bring a stop to Superfly's plan and, get the love and respect they want. It's not gonna be easy though, because TCRI are hot on the trail of the tech. So yeah, it's a Ninja Turtles film, and specifically, it's a Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg Ninja Turtles film. There's plenty of plenty of sort of pop culture references and very much references to teenage popularity. An experience which the two of them have captured very well on film multiple times. And I'm happy to report that TMNT Mutant Mayhem is an absolute blast. I really, really enjoyed it. This was a very, very good film. If you've got kids, they can do it. You and they will probably enjoy it. And if you're a fan of Ninja Turtles, you'll definitely enjoy it. Even if just for like the little references to Turtles history, it's just a lot of fun though. For one, the film is gorgeous to look at. The film takes the 2.5D style of Spider Verse, but yeah, much like any good 2.5D film, doesn't just copy Spider Verse and actually does its own thing with it. In fact, the film uses its stylized animation to make everything look really like quite grumpy and dirty in the best way possible. it certainly lends itself to a sense of like grounded realism in amongst the heightened visuals. But yeah, there's plenty of heightened visuals as well. Notably, in the action scenes, you get like those like scribble moments. Very much trying to capture the like scribble aesthetic of a teenage boy's notebook. And yeah, beneath the animation though, the film sort of takes the teenage experience and runs with it. Most notably with the casting of like four actual teenagers as the turtles, and they're the four of them are great. They have very much real chemistry, and they very much believably and authentically behave as like modern teenagers do. They're very goofy and nerdy, and they're spouting out references to things like Attack on Titan, Endgame, but they're also like spouting out slang words too, like like goat, riz, sus. Like some of it may be kind of dated in years from now in that regard, but it does a very good job of feeling very up to the moment with its portrayal of teenage life, and the turtles' journey to be respected by the people of New York City. It's pretty familiar stuff, but it does it very well. Delivers it with a whole ton of heart and plenty of very funny gags. That notably a semi-recurring milking gag, and the payoff to that is very funny. And even like little like moments as well. Notably a hysterical reference to the Hollywood Chris's. You have to see it. But beneath all the humor and the goofy teenageisms, there's a real ton of heart, and there's a plenty interesting ensemble. Notably, we've got Jackie Chan as Splinter, bringing him out a surprising level of depth to what would otherwise be a stunt casting. But yeah, they do relish the chance of Jackie Chan voicing Splinter. We also have very likable Iowa Berry as April, and we also have a really fun villain turn from Ice Cube as Superfly. And we also have a very entertaining, cold and calculating Maya Rudolph as a human villain working with TCRI. And there's also some very funny supporting roles as well. Notably, Seth Rogen and John Cena as Bebop and Rocksteady. Natasha Dimitriou, yep, from What We Do in the Shadows as Wingnut. And the film's MVP, Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. He is really funny. Beneath the humor and depth, there's also some surprising fun action. Like a notable set piece being the turtles like actually getting into their first combat situation. It's really entertaining, and with the sort of like scribble lines popping up during the action, it gives it a real sense of energy and fluidity. It works really well, and they really lean into the ninja aspect just as much as the teenage aspect. Although a semi-recurring gag, loves to contradict that. And yeah, there's also a really strong synth score from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. The Social Network's still the best work, though. Accompanied by a real strong hip hop soundtrack that I was enjoying, sort of tapping my toes along to. Yeah, it's a really good film. Admittedly, the final act can feel kind of rushed. Like, don't get me wrong, the character payoff very satisfying. I did have a big smile on my face, and the big final set piece is pretty entertaining. But it almost sort of feels like it's kind of rushing to get to these like payoffs. It's still a lot of fun though. Overall, this is a huge blast. 9-year-old me would absolutely love this, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And now we head back to the cinema for the second half of the double bill, Strays. So you can see here, I've got my popcorn and my red frozen Fanta ready for part 2 of the double bill, Strays. Go fetch yourself.
Caramelized onion relish, the new crispy delight.
So yeah, Strays. I was looking forward to this as well. Obviously the idea of an R-rated talking dog comedy, taking something that would otherwise be family friendly and filthing it up. It's kind of been done to death, but with this being about dogs, the comedic potential for it was like high, because basically Dogs are really strange, funny little creatures, and the idea of a comedy where we just see their weird little mannerisms portrayed unfiltered on screen. Surely this would be absolute cinematic gold, especially since this would be in the reliable hands of producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who have a real knack for finding a surprising amount of emotional intelligence in these like wacky, high concept, goofy ideas. But do they repeat that trick here? Is this a fun, crowd pleasing summer comedy? And does it make the most of its comedic potential? Let's find out. So the film follows Reggie, a sweet and naive border terrier who lives with his low-life owner Doug, who is a massive stoner that quite regularly mistreats Reggie, and in fact tends to lead preference to his own penis for regular masturbation. Then one day Doug gets evicted and decides to abandon Reggie on the street far away from him so he can never return home. And Reggie, realizing he's been neglected, teams up with a few other strays: Bug, a Boston Terrier, Maggie, an Australian Shepherd, and Hunter, a Great Dane, to journey back to Doug's house and get cold hard revenge. So yeah, you've seen the trailer for this, and you know the general basic idea. So you really know what to expect going in. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting Citizen Kane. I'm just expecting to be entertained and laugh at least a few times at a fun dog dog comedy. And yeah, happily the film mostly satisfies those expectations. Like, again, this isn't like some 5-star cinematic gem, but it does what it sets out to do and does it very well. It has plenty of fun with it. Now, obviously, plenty of the tropes of these rated R family movies are present and correct, but when the film is having this much fun with them and bringing that dog spin to it, you, the audience, will probably too. While not every gag lands and hits the bullseye, there's a fair amount of like healthy little chuckles here. It gets plenty of mileage out of its little weird mannerisms of its four-legged furry protagonists. Notably, you've got references to alcohol, pee and poo, humping, and there's plenty of sexual references outside of the dog sphere as well. So it is very much not for kids. Also, the copious amounts of swearing and subtitled animal swearing, where animals make noises, and the subtitles reveal they are telling each other to fuck off or something. Yeah, they get plenty of mileage out of it, and it mostly lands. It mostly generates like healthy little chuckles, and it's very funny. And to its credit, it has some really genuine big laughs, and its big comedic set pieces. Notably, the magic mushroom trip scene. Holy hell, that was really funny, and the payoff to it is just wickedly delightful. And there's also a really fun set piece in at a county fair, a semi-recurring gag about the postman, and there's a hilarious gag, an extended gag involving dog poo. It is very funny, obviously leading to a very hilariously memorable ending. Yeah, the film does a lot. The film is very funny, very consistently funny, and even when some jokes don't hit the mark, there'll be one right around the corner that will make you laugh. Also, to its credit, the film is very competently made. Cinematography wise, you're not expecting like Roger Deakins or anything, but it shoots itself very well. Capturing the sort of like country landscapes of the long, arduous trek, and even bringing some grit to the rough, scuzzy city streets. Yeah, it works very well. And even the CGI for the moving dog mouths is pretty seamless and actually didn't bother me at all. Like you can tell how the technology has caught up for that sort of thing, and it works very well. There's also a fun little soundtrack of like pop songs, hip hop songs, yeah, as you'd expect from a modern studio comedy, and it works well. And it also helps that the film, as well as being funny and well made visually, it also unsurprisingly for Lord and Miller, gets some real emotional intelligence out of its premise with a really strong dramatic through line of breaking free from toxic relationships and and finding those that do love you and give you the love that you so deserve. It's a very interesting little spin on a dog comedy, and the film gets surprisingly emotional at points because of it. There's notably a scene where one of the dogs recounts their tragic backstory. And it hits surprisingly hard. I don't know whether it's just because it's dogs and you're sort of inclined to sort of feel a bit more because we love dogs so much, but either way, it's its emotional moments work. And it helps as well. There's a really strong ensemble cast that sell it. Like, we've got Will Ferrell very much, selling both the sweet naivety of Reggie and also his harder edge as he fights back against Dog's neglect. Jamie Foxx is also a lot of fun as Bug, a slightly cuckoo Boston Terrier who has a sort of deeper resentment towards humans. And there's some real fun chemistry between Randall Park as Hunter and Isla Fisher as Maggie, and their relationship, the way they explored it, was pretty fun. And also on the human side of things, we've got Brett Gelman as in a small role, which is really, really funny, and also Will Forte as Dog, really relishing this absolute complete monster of a character. He has an absolute blast with the material. And obviously plot wise it does hit beats you'd expect, but you'll leave this with a big smile on your face. It does what it sets out to do and does it very well. Overall, I'm going to give Strays a 7 out of 10. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Mutant Mayhem? Have you seen Strays? What do you think of them? Would you like to see a sequel to Mutant Mayhem? Because obviously it's happening. And yeah, are you a dog owner? Did you like the Strays portrayal of our beloved canine friends? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.